A lot of great things are coming for us in the near future, especially with games. But I can tell you right now, there's one thing that we might want to address that's extremely important as far as I'm concerned, and it should be important to you too. Coming up right now. So Nintendo has released the Fire Emblem 30th Anniversary Edition for pre-order as of the timing of this video. And it's for Fire Emblem Shadow Dragon and the Blade of Light, which is the first game that was never released here in the US and has never officially been localized, though I guess there are English translations for the game already, though I have not played it. Now I was looking at the picture of this release. I was like, oh wow, okay, so we have a mini Nintendo Power collectible booklet. Looks like we have some sort of map. We have the main box. Oh cool, okay, we have a replica game box, instructions, booklet, and map, a deluxe art book, and a replica game pack art piece, game sleeve, and digital game download. Here's basically what my live reaction was when I saw this. Oh yeah, that looks great. Okay, yeah, alright, that's cool. I'm definitely interested. Wait, what? Okay, real talk, it wasn't quite that nuts or silly even, but I still noticed that there's something very wrong with this picture. And really, when we get down to the brass tacks of it, the fact of the matter is, this isn't the first time we've seen it. And what I'm talking about very specifically is the lack of any actual physical game within this collection. We have a game pack art piece, which seems strange to me that you would go through all the trouble to have the actual game box, book, sleeve, all of this stuff, and yet not actually release an NES cartridge with the actual game on it. I mean, all of this trouble has been gone to. Why not make the NES cartridge and then sell it? And then on top of that, can you imagine how much more you could sell that for as Nintendo? Probably a lot. I understand that this game is a Switch release and that's the purpose of what they're doing, but at the same time, doesn't it seem a little strange that there's also no physical Switch game in a physical collector's edition? As you'll see here in a moment, this situation is not isolated to just Fire Emblem, and I don't really like that very much. These games that Ubisoft has made are probably at least going to be good. I don't know that they're going to be great, but they are going to be at least good, as far as I can tell. And just by looking at the pictures of these collector's editions, I would say that these are probably worth the money that they're asking for them. And I guess in some cases we're talking between $150 and $200 for a collector's edition. There's some pretty interesting pieces you get in these sets, and I would definitely consider getting them if I was especially a big fan of these series, or just interested in collecting Ubisoft collector's editions. But there's something missing here, and I don't know that you can tell what that is because in these pictures they're not avidly showing it. But here it is. Ubisoft drops discs from Xbox collector's editions. Xbox owners who purchase the collector's edition of Ubisoft's biggest upcoming titles will not receive a physical copy of the game. The decision was noted in an update on Ubisoft's support site, clarifying that pre-ordered collector's editions of Valhalla, Legion, and Far Cry 6 will instead come with a digital game key for a download copy. I find this troubling, to say the least. I don't know whether Xbox has requirements, especially on the Xbox One, for games to be produced physically, but I'm kind of wondering if maybe something with the rules for that has changed for them specifically. Furthermore, The publisher emphasized that this will not affect the PlayStation versions of the same products. I find this interesting. There must be some sort of separation between the two, but I'd like to point out that at least half of them have physical copies of the games. The collector's edition of Assassin's Creed and Watch Dogs for PC already include digital codes instead of discs. And as a side note, PC games are already going this way. I understand that changed a while ago, but we're talking about console-released titles. Ubisoft has given no reason for the change, but confirmed to Polygon, which is where I got this, that it will not affect customers in North American markets. That's a very interesting thing to say, because the first thing that honestly comes to my mind when I see something like this, honestly, is that they're test betting the idea. That they're going ahead and trying it with Xbox versions of the game, specifically so they can see if people backlash on it or not. And the UK is typically, it's not a small market for gaming, but it's smaller than North America. So I'm wondering if they are in fact trying something here to try to see if it still makes money. And I gotta be honest with you, I think that's a mistake. Let's be honest here, everyone. Eliminating a physical game, a cartridge, a disc, what may have you inside one of these collector's editions doesn't make a whole lot of sense to me when we still have physical drives in these machines. In the case of Fire Emblem, you would have gotten so much more interest in a product like this had there actually been an officially licensed NES cartridge associated with it. That would have shocked people to the point where you wouldn't be able to stop selling it, no matter what your effort of minimizing the time frame to sell this product in, which, by the way, is only until March 31st, which is the same period in which that apparently Nintendo will also only sell Super Mario 3D World. That seems a little strange, doesn't it? Digital gaming is the direction that we're technically headed, and it's pretty obvious that's where everything seems to be going to. However, I don't believe everything should be digital, and in a case where we have collector's editions without actual physical copies of games, I think we're starting to move the wrong direction with collector's editions. You're going to find a lot of people out there who really don't appreciate them leaving out a physical copy of the game. And it's kind of hard to make sense of why they wouldn't have one, considering that we still have machines with real drives in them. Digital gamers should be respected in this case, of course, because there are now going to be digital-only consoles. And with digital-only consoles, there is no drive. So what if a digital-only buyer actually wants a collector's edition? Well, they're fine in the case where you only get a digital code, but I believe that these sellers, the companies that are making these particular items, can make it both ways, where you have a physical disc and a digital code, and one trounces the other depending on where and when the game is installed. I think there's probably a path to get that done, and I don't know what the logistics truly of that are, but I would suspect that you can make everybody happy and still sell things for the kind of money that you want, all at the same time. Please like and subscribe and share your comments down below. This has been Miami Sunrise Gaming, and